I Want a Wife by Judy Brady. I Want a Wife, a study guide. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Bachelor and Master English. Today, we are going to talk about Judy Brady's I Want a Wife. So, in today's discussion, we'll be talking about the introduction of this essay. There will be synopsis, and there will be Nepali discussion. There will be critical analysis, and finally, there will be conclusion. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel, and please, if you like this video, please don't forget to share and comment on it. Let's go with the discussion of this text. First step of discussion here is introduction. And the author Judy Brady in the text I Want a Wife lists all the tasks that a woman is expected to do as a mother and specifically a wife. More importantly, she implies that a woman is submissive towards her husband. For instance, making sure him and her children are well taken care of and putting them before herself. A wife's role in both family and marriage is extremely important that most people do not really appreciate and often see as replaceable. This is why the author wrote the text to highlight the importance of wife. Wife is someone lucky to have. She is writing as the man who wants a wife. She wants to show how men truly think of women. It sounds as women's point of view. She ends her essay with a rhetorical question. My God, who wouldn't want a wife? Now let's go with the synopsis of this essay. In English, now we are talking about the summary here. The essay, I Want a Wife, is a very intense essay written by Judy Brady. She was a great feminist writer of her time. It is about how a wife should conduct herself in the eyes of a male figure that's called husband. Many male figures of the time heckled and despised her essay. She stood as a staunch supporter of feminism. But it is straightforward, clear why she needs a wife. She says, I would like to go back to school so that I can become economically independent, support myself, and, if need be, support those dependent upon me. I want a wife who will work and send me to school. And while I'm going to school, I want a wife to take care of my children. So it's clear. There is a classification of people in the society, husbands and wives. The narrator claims herself as a wife and a mother. The first priority she gives is to the wife, then mother. Without being wife, one can't become a mother. So she has that concept. One of her male friends got a divorce. There was a recent incident in his life. He must have been looking for another wife. Suddenly she wanted to have a wife. The narrator wants to resume school life, to be economically independent. Wife is necessary to work, to earn and send to school, to provide special care of children, to get appointments with doctor and dentist, to ensure the continuity of attendance at school, to arrange everything to lose time at work and not lose the job, to arrange and pay for the care of the children while the wife is working. Wife is needed to satisfy physical needs, to keep house clean, to keep clothes clean and to put them in proper condition, to place personal things properly. Wife is needed to cook the delicious meals and to serve them pleasantly and do the cleaning up while the husband is stoning. She would not bother about planning menus and doing the necessary grocery shopping. Wife is needed to nurse the sick, to express sympathy in painful condition. A wife is necessary to accompany while family goes for a long vacation. A wife is required to listen to without making complaints about a wife's duties. Wife is to listen to his explanation of tough questions in studies and to type the written assignment papers. Wife is necessary to host husband's friends and guests well without being interrupted, completing the babysitting arrangements, entertaining them fully with delicious foods and drinks. Her wife will not interrupt when they talk about the things of their interest. The wife must be sensitive to husband's sexual needs, making how passionately and eagerly he wants to get intercourse when he is so much excited. However, the wife must not demand sexual attention. If the husband is not interested, she should not become excited or she should not show her amorous behavior. Meanwhile, wife is required to take the complete responsibility for birth control, as there are already children and the family doesn't need more children. The husband may have extramarital affair, but he does not expect such affair from his wife. The narrator once educated an intellectual wife, but she should not be the burden of her husband's jealousy. If by chance the husband finds another fresh lady more suitable as a wife, then he enjoys his liberty to replace the present wife. After completing school, when he starts a job, a wife must quit working and remain at home doing wife's duties. If by chance any new and fresh lady is ready to perform a wife's duties, my God, who wouldn't want a wife? That's a rhetorical question put at the end of this essay, I Want a Wife. In this essay, Judy Brady emphasizes the point that the roles of wife are unfair to the role of husband, and that there is an obvious difference, inequality between the roles of husband and wife. Okay, this is all the discussion of this essay in English. Now let's discuss this text in Nepali. मलाई स्वास्नी चाहिएको छ शीर्षकको निबन्ध जुडी ब्राडीको एउटा चर्चित लेख हो। यो लेख अनुसार उनले एउटा पुरुषको दृष्टिकोणबाट महिला उसले कसरी हेरिरहेको हुन्छ। श्रीमती खोज्ने लोग्ने मान्छेले श्रीमती खोज्या हो कि अथवा यौन साथी खोज्या हो कि अथवा घरमा काम गर्ने नोकर्नी खोज्या हो कि के हो त? श्रीमतीको हैसियत के, श्रीमतीको काम के, श्रीमतीको कार्यभार के, जिम्मेवारी के, दायित्व के, अनि यो थाहा नभएको मान्छेले श्रीमतीलाई चाहिँ कुन रूपमा प्रस्तुत गर्न खोज्या हो। जोस् यहाँ के छ भने लेखकको एउटा साथीको हालै सम्बन्ध विच्छेद भयो। एउटा भएको बच्चा पनि पूर्व स्वास्नीसँग बसिरहेको छ। उसले एउटा स्वास्नी खोजिरहेको छ। लेखक उसकी स्वास्नी अब नबने पनि म जस्ती एउटी महिला उसकी स्वास्नी बन्ने छ भन्ने विश्वास गर्छ। उसले कस्ती स्वास्नी पाउँछ त भनेर सोचेको होला। अहिले पक्कै पनि बालबच्चाको स्याहार सुसार गर्ने, खानपिन, खुसी र उनीहरूको स्वास्थ्य सबैसँग आवश्यक सबै कुरा गर्नुपर्छ। भान्सामा आवश्यक सबै कुरा खरिद गर्नेदेखि लिएर खाना बनाउने, मायालु भावले थपी थपी खुवाउने, भाँडा बर्तन घर भित्र बाहिर सरसफाई गर्ने, लुगा कपडा धुने, कपडाहरू सुकाउने अनि त्यसपछि उठाउने, अनि आवश्यक कपडाहरूमा इस्त्री लगाएर यथास्थानमा राख्ने, अनि श्रीमानका पाहुनाहरू आएको बेलामा बच्चाहरूले पहिल्यै नै खाइ खुवाई उनीहरूलाई सुताइ भ्याएको हुनुपर्ने र अनि सुतिसकेपछि अनि परिवारमा आएका पाहुनाहरूलाई विशेष पकवान मिष्ठान्न पकाएर खुवाउनु पर्ने, अनि सँगसँगै त्यहाँ उनीहरूले चाहेको पेय पदार्थको पनि व्यवस्था बारको चाहिँ काम गर्ने केटीहरूले जस्तो थपिदिनु पर्ने, भरिदिनु पर्ने गिलास। अनि त्यो पेय पदार्थसँग शीतन तयार पनि पारिदिनु पर्ने, कफी खान खोजे कफी पनि बनाइदिने, अनि ती चुरोट सुरोट खाएर धुवा धुलो ठुटा फाल्नु पर्यो भने त्यो एस्ट्रे पनि टेबलमा राखिदिनु पर्ने। अब जसरी भए पनि समय व्यवस्थापन गरी पतिको पढाइलाई अवरोध पुर्याउन नदिने, आफ्नो इच्छा चाहना सबै पर सारेर लोग्नेलाई खुसी तुल्याउने, उसले चाहेको बेलामा कामुक रूपमा यौनको लागि पनि तयार भइदिने, लोग्ने ढिला आयो वा अर्को कुनै स्त्रीसँग लाग्यो भनेर त्यसको गुनासो नगरिकन चुपचाप बस्ने। अब लोग्ने इच्छुक नभएको समयमा आफूलाई यौन प्यास लाग्यो भने पनि चुपचाप सती सावित्री सरह बस्ने, लोग्नेको पढाइको प्रगति उसको साथमा बसेर सुनी बुझिदिने र आवश्यक पाठहरू, लोग्नेले नभ्याएको पाठहरू टाइप गरेर उसको लागि सहयोग गरिदिने। स्वास्नी अति जान्ने सुन्ने बन्न नखोज्ने र पाहुनाहरूसँग श्रीमानले कुराकानी गर्दै गरेको बेलामा प्याच्च बिचमा नबोल्ने, उनीहरूको अगाडि आफ्नो उपस्थिति नै नदेखाउने, पत्नी भएर यो वा त्यो कामको चाप भयो, यसो भयो उसो भयो भने थक नगर्ने, जे छ परिआएको सबै गर्ने। लोग्नेले ताजा र नयाँ माल अथवा कुनै केटी तरुणी केटी पाएर घर ल्यायो भने त्यसको प्रतिवाद नगरिकन नयाँ स्वास्नी मैत्री र सौता सहिष्णु नारी बनिदिने। पछि लोग्नेको पढाइ पुरा भएपछि उसले पुरा समय काम गर्न थाल्दा आफूले कुनै काम पेसा छाडेर स्वास्नीको घरै बसी उसको जे धन्दा गरिरहनु आवश्यक छ त्यो गरिदिने। दुःख सुखमा साथ दिने, सुखमा पनि साथ दिने, यस्तो श्रीमती चाहिएको छ। अब त्यो श्रीमती हुन को राजी छ? को यस्ता चाहिँ सबै काम गर्ने, यस्ता जिम्मेवारी वहन गर्ने, यस्ता दायित्व निर्वाह गर्ने, यस्ता चाहिँ सबै कामको व्यवस्थापन गर्न सक्ने श्रीमती कोही तयार छ भने त्यस्तै श्रीमती पाउनको लागि सबै लोग्ने मान्छेहरू तछाड मछाड गरिरहेको बेला म पनि के बाँकी रहँला, म पनि ल्याउँला भनेर लेखकले यो भने हो। तर वास्तवमा भनियो भने अब यो महिला जुन छ नि सुशील स्वभाव एकदम राम्रो भयो कि सहनशील, सहिष्णु, वफादार, इमान्दार, उदार, यस्ता स्त्री त सबैले खोज्छन् नि त। तर त्यो यस्ता स्त्रीको त्यही व्यवहार सधैँ रहनको लागि त उसँग स्त्रीयोचित अब एकदम मित्रताको भावना कायम गर्नु पर्यो नि। एउटा सधैँ उसलाई दासको रूपमा राखेर त त्यस्तो त गर्दैन। त्यसो भएर कसैले यस्तो स्वास्नी बनाउन चाह्यो भने कुनै महिला यस्तो स्वास्नी बन्न तयार होला नि त? के महिलाले महिलासँग बिहा गर्ला नि त? महिलाको स्वास्नी महिला भएर आउला? जैविक रूपमा पनि यो असम्भव कुरा हो। तर के हो भने कुनै पनि स्वास्नी चुपचाप बस्दैनन्। पति र पत्नीको बिचमा एउटा श्रीमान श्रीमती भनेको भन्दा पनि यहाँ त एउटा दासीको रूपमा चाहिँ काम गर्नुपर्ने महिलाको एउटा कार्यभार अथवा चाहिँ दायित्वहरू अथवा कर्तव्यहरू चाहिँ यहाँ पेश गरिएको छ। खास चाहिँ बढी लेखकले केमा ध्यान दिएको छ भने उसको छोराछोरीको स्याहार सुसार बढी चाहिँ ध्यान दिएको छ। छोराछोरीको स्याहार सुसार, श्रीमानको खुसी, उसको लागि चाहिँ आफ्नो चाहना भावना सबै कुराको चाहिँ बलिदान दिनुपर्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ आएको छ। द्याट्स all with the discussion of this essay, I Want a Wife by Judy Brady. And now let's go with the critical analysis. As a wife of a husband and a mother of a child, the narrator shows how women must feel. While ironing a cloth, the narrator thought of a recently divorced male friend whose child was with his ex-wife. He might have been looking for a wife. He must have been preparing a list of duties that his new wife should perform. Meanwhile, the narrator also wants to wed a wife. She makes a list of wife's duties and declares clearly why she needs a wife. She means to say that the husband is looking for a servant rather than a true wife. Most of the duties are related to children, household chores, appointments with doctor, event management, paying bills, helping the husband to progress with his studies, sexual availability when husband wants and putting her career aside for making her husband successful. Many duties of a wife include washing clothes, cooking and household chores, babysitting, managing social ties, typing the written assignment, and satisfying the husband when he wants her accompaniment to have sexual satisfaction. Brady lists many tasks and chores that happen in a day-to-day basis in a marriage. She makes it clear that husbands demand too much of their wives. The roles of wife and husband are clearly unfair according to the traditional selfish expectation that men have for their wives. The husband expects the wife to cater to his every need and to push her needs to the side. She is a wife. Being a wife is not the only thing that makes her credible. She seems like she has had a lot of experience in the expected wife. She lists many of the jobs that are demanded from husbands and expected of a wife. The essay is a satire that the author conveys to ridicule society's standards and that are set for women. The reason the tone is set as being satirical is because she has been able to take a relevant sexist matter. If this be a standard, Brady says, my God, who wouldn't want a wife? This rhetoric question shows the injustice or neglect for women's rights by excluding their emotion and simply listing requirements or expectations of the wife. Brady argues that women are expected to do too much, and she also argued that the roles of husband and wife are clearly unfair. She writes as if she were the husband that wants to go to school and be supported by the wife. At last, since Judy Brady was a strong supporter of feminism, she wants to show how men truly think of women when they get what they want, being set women aside for bigger and better things. They only want themselves to go ahead, pushing wives back. I Want a Wife by Judy is classical essay, first published in feminist magazine Midge. Here, Judy declares the role of women in the 1970s as viewed from a man's point of view. It is through a repeating phrase, I want a wife, in almost every paragraph of this essay is written from a feminist point of view, portraying how men perceive women in their minds and how life is difficult as a wife than as a mother. While I was ironing one evening, it suddenly occurred to me that I would like to have a wife. It means wife's duties are more than that husband's ones. The point of this essay, I Want a Wife by Judy Brady, is that a marriage is supposed to be a partnership and is not an ownership. The essay is important because wives and husbands need to know that it takes teamwork to make a marriage be successful. Through her essay, the writer concludes that she wants to show the world how men think, act, and feel of women. She wants women to know how men truly are. She wants women stand up for themselves. This is the real feminist spirit that she lauded through the present essay, I Want a Wife. Okay. With this discussion, I have come to the end of this discussion of today's lesson. Judy Brady's I Want a Wife. I'm sure you got the points. If you have any queries, you can put your ideas in my comment box. I shall be back with other videos. Till then, goodbye.